I ain't never seen that man with Youngboy before that shit happened with V-Roy, you see what I'm saying? It's like he using that nigga like as a face card to be around him, like to make them look a little tough, you see what I'm saying?
Who popped that boy? Who stretched that boy? Who caught that boy? I'm him.
After King Von got sent to the lobby, the tension between these crews never really cooled off, and Lul Tim is still moving like he wants all eyes on him. It's been 5 years, but things are getting heated again, and the whole hip-hop world is watching this unfold. Before we break down this wild situation, make sure to hit that like button because it keeps this crew growing and lets us keep bringing real talk to the channel. To really understand how this story started, we gotta rewind to November 6th, 2020. The night King Von sadly lost his life outside that Atlanta hookah lounge. Lul Tim, Kondo Rondo's close friend, was the one involved, saying he acted to protect himself, and the court cleared the situation. But the streets? They never let the moment fade. For 5 years, the tension been sitting in the background. NBA Youngboy been dropping slick lines aimed at O-Block, Tim been showing up with YB like he can't be touched, and O-Block been quiet but alert. But what just happened this week pushed everything into a whole new zone. Let me show you how deep this goes. King Von wasn't just another artist, he was O-Block royalty. He came up under Chief Keef, but Von brought a different type of energy. Before the fame,
Who popped that boy? Who stretched that boy? Who caught that boy? I'm him. You got on that plate that's hot smoking like that.
his name was already buzzing heavy in the streets. When he passed, O-Block didn't just lose a rapper. They lost their leader figure, the one they believed could lift the whole neighborhood. And here's where things get even crazier. NB, a young artist, just dropped a freestyle called Zero IQ, and the track came off like a straight swipe at King Von's legacy. But Lul Tim took the whole situation way further. He jumped on TikTok, posted himself vibing to the track, and started rapping along to the most heated lines, the same lines that had everybody online buzzing. Who popped that boy? I'm him. Who starched that boy? I'm him. There was nothing coded or hidden here. Lul Tim was clearly trying to claim responsibility for what happened to King Von right in front of the whole internet. People were shocked at how bold he moved, but the real twist was the timing. He posted that TikTok on November 6th, 2025, the exact same date King Von passed away 5 years earlier. And on top of that, Tim's grandfather passed that same day in 2025. Two major events on the same date, 5 years apart, and the internet went wild connecting the dots. Let me explain why this TikTok hit way harder than the usual back and forth. Most of the time, artists keep things coded through metaphors or hidden meanings, but Lul Tim didn't try to disguise anything this time. He stared right into the camera, recited those lines word for word, and made it crystal clear what message he wanted out there. Even the setup felt calculated. He looked like he was in a...
I've seen that man with Youngboy before that shit happened with V-Roy, you see what I'm saying? It's like he using that nigga like as a face card to be around him, like to make them look a little tough. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's how it ain't like you did some street shit and like it's just left in the streets. That shit on some police shit too at the same time. You get what I'm saying? Like niggas will do shit. Like it's a difference from doing some street shit and the motherfucker know you did some street shit, right? And
interview with FYBJ Maine that been making the rounds, Ike laid it out plain. Real simple. I ain't never seen that man with Youngboy before. That situation with Von happened. He using that like a face card to be around him to make them look a little tough. Ike wasn't just speaking on music either. He checked the way Tim been moving ever since the incident, making songs about it, bragging on stage, trying to act like some street legend, when according to Ike, the whole situation involved law enforcement from the start. You got off, bro. It ain't like you did some street stuff and it's just left in the streets. But Ike went deeper than questioning.
You just got off like on some easy shit, you see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Bro, you got lucky. All you did what you did. You defended you stood your ground. You got lucky. His back was turned, whatever.
Tim's image. He pushed back on the entire storyline about that night in Atlanta. According to Ike and other O-Block members, things didn't go the way Tim's supporters make it sound. They claim Von wasn't even the one pressing the issue that night, and that the media twisted the whole event.
Be humble, gang. You see what I'm saying? I feel like he ain't humble about that shit, like, cause the same way like you did what you did, that shit could happen to you too, gang. Like,
to make Tim look like he stepped in to protect his friend. Bro got lucky. Really? Ike said in the interview. It ain't like he was face to face with that man. His back was turned, whatever. He said Tim should stay humble because situations like that can flip on anybody just as fast. Let me break down the real tea behind this whole situation because it goes way deeper than one moment outside that Atlanta spot. This didn't start out of nowhere. King Von and his crew pulled up on Quando Rondo that night, and everything spiraled fast. Von already had a heavy street reputation, and everyone knew he wasn't the type to step back from anybody. But here's the part people overlook about Lul Tim. According to Muna, Ike, and other O-Block voices, Tim wasn't known as a street figure before this moment. He was simply Quando's friend who happened to be carrying that night. When Von and his team approached Quando, Tim felt like his homie was in danger and stepped in the way a loyal friend would. But the real issue came after everything happened. Instead of staying low and moving smart, Tim began turning that moment into a whole brand. He linked up with NBA Youngboy, dropped music talking about it, and kept using the situation as his storyline ever since. That's what had O-Block fired up. Not just what happened to Von, but the way Tim been moving ever since, like it turned him into some kind of street icon. Now let's get into the NBA Youngboy connection, because this is where the politics get real messy. Youngboy and Lil Durk been at odds for years, long before the Von situation. So when Tim's name got tied to Von's passing, it gave Youngboy a perfect angle to use against Durk and O-Block. Out of nowhere, Tim went from being a quiet friend in the background to standing next to Youngboy on tour, like he suddenly became part of YB's inner circle. Ike even pointed this out in his interview. "I seen Quando Rondo with him before, that's cool. But Tim, now that man using that situation as a face card to be around Youngboy and make them look tough." These street politics run deeper than people realize, and Quando is right in the middle of it. Rondo been signed to Youngboy's 4KT label for years, and their bond goes way back. But Tim was just Quando's friend from Savannah who suddenly got pushed into the spotlight because of one intense night in Atlanta. After that TikTok dropped, everything turned into pure chaos online. Within hours, the video passed millions of views and thousands of comments. Von supporters rushed into the comment section with heavy criticism, while Youngboy fans defended Tim, saying he had the right to tell his side of the story. But it wasn't just random viewers jumping in. O-Block members started posting their own reactions across Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Some shared old clips of King Von, while others posted cryptic messages that felt aimed straight at Tim. One response stood out the most. An O-Block member posted a video listening to Von's music with the caption, "Long live Von, we ain't forget nothing." The message was loud and clear. O-Block still views this situation as unfinished business, no matter what the courts ruled. Meanwhile, NBA Youngboy's camp stayed quiet publicly. Youngboy didn't directly respond to O-Block's posts, but people close to him say he increased security around Tim and the rest of the team, just to keep everyone safe in case things escalated again. Now let's talk about this November 6th situation, because this part had the whole internet spooked. King Von passed away on November 6th, 2020 at around 2:22 a.m. outside the Monaco Hookah Lounge in Atlanta. Fast forward 5 years, on November 6th, 2025, Lul Tim's grandfather passed away as well. The internet instantly started connecting every detail. Some Von supporters began saying this was proof that their favorite artist was sending a message from the afterlife to balance things out. They pointed out how Tim posted that controversial TikTok on the same day his grandfather passed, calling it cosmic justice and Von's revenge. The theories went wild, and the timing made the whole situation even more surreal. Tim's supporters been trying to brush off the date connection, saying it's just coincidence and people are overthinking it. But the timing still feels spooky to a lot of folks, especially knowing how calculated Tim usually is with his social media moves. Some people been digging even deeper, pointing out that Tim's grandfather reportedly helped raise him when his parents weren't around, and losing him on the same date connected to Von has people talking about spiritual balance being restored. The reaction from Chicago came fast and with serious energy. Multiple O-Block affiliates started posting cryptic messages that felt like direct warnings toward Tim. Some dropped old clips of King Von with captions like "We still here" and "Justice coming," making it clear they didn't forget anything. But it wasn't just O-Block speaking up. Other Chicago drill artists who were close to Von jumped in too. Even folks connected to FBG Duck, despite their past issues with O-Block, showed support for Von's memory and called out Tim for crossing the line. Things got so heated that certain venues started canceling NBA Youngboy shows out of safety concerns. Promoters didn't want to risk tension spilling over if O-Block members decided to pull up while Tim was around. The response to Tim's TikTok was fast and loud. O-Block members flooded social media with criticism and warnings, while Vaughn supporters and We supporters went at each other in the comments like it was a full-on digital battlefield. But it hasn't stayed online. According to people close to the situation, O-Block been actively trying to get eyes on Tim. They feel like he's been hiding behind NBA Youngboy's security team and the fame that comes with it, and they want a direct conversation with him one-on-one. Even law enforcement stepped in. Reports say Atlanta police increased patrols around places where NBA Youngboy and his people usually move, just in case things escalate again. Nobody wants to see another situation like the one that took Vaughn's life, and even the music industry is keeping a close eye on everything happening right now. Behind the scenes, record labels been talking about artist safety and whether it's worth keeping artists who stay wrapped up in active conflicts. Some insiders even said Tim's TikTok might have pushed things into a zone the industry doesn't want any part of. This whole situation proves how social media changed the entire landscape. Back in the day, if you had issues with somebody, you kept it quiet and handled it away from cameras. Now people go online making TikToks, bragging about situations linked to real loss, and then act confused when the backlash hits hard. Lul Tim could have stayed quiet, kept stacking money off his connection with Youngboy, and lived a peaceful life. Instead, he kept prodding at a situation that already had serious weight behind it, and now the people he's poking are ready to react. O-Block isn't the type to ignore disrespect, especially when it touches King Von's name. The wild part is this conflict might never fully cool off. Von's passing created a chain reaction that's been stretching across 5 years now. Just when it feels like everything is calming down, something like this TikTok pops up and sets the whole situation on fire again. This also shines a light on something bigger: how drill culture and street beef keep pulling young men into cycles that don't benefit anyone long term. Vaughn was only 26 when he passed, and Tim is still young too. They could have been building businesses, uplifting their people, or creating new opportunities. Instead, they got caught in cycles that were already spinning long before they were even around. The tragedy is seeing so much potential get dragged back into a world that doesn't offer peace. At the end of the day, this whole situation is nothing but tragic. King Von was a gifted artist with the chance to reshape his life, and Lul Tim was simply looking out for his friend. But now he's carrying a target on his back that won't fade anytime soon. O-Block members like Muna Ike still feel they gotta defend their fallen homie's honor, and that keeps everything heated. The November 6th connection might be a coincidence, or it might be something deeper. I'll let you decide that. But one thing is clear: that TikTok instantly put Lul Tim back in the center of the storm, and Chicago and O-Block aren't known for forgiving or forgetting. This tension been building for 5 years, and it's not slowing down. Every diss track, every post, every subtle jab keeps stacking more pressure onto a situation that already feels explosive. The question isn't if things get messy again, it's when. So what do you think about all this? Was Lul Tim out of line for posting that TikTok, or was he just speaking his truth? And what about that November 6th connection? Coincidence or something deeper happening behind the scenes? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure to hit that like button if this breakdown helped you get a clearer picture of what's going on. Subscribe for more exclusive street updates and turn on notifications so you never miss when we drop new heat. Until next time, stay safe and keep it solid out there.